Hi, I'm Valerie with Now Gardening, and today I'm here to unbox and review the Bosch AXT 2200. Now before I start, I should tell you that this is not a paid review in any way. I simply did the research and chose a wood chipper that was best for me and my needs. And so, as you might imagine, there are many different brands and models of wood chippers, garden shredders on the market, but I chose this one for its overall performance reviews relative to its weight. And that may seem strange, but I'll explain. Our land is 1 acre of hillside, and simply put, I needed to be able to haul this thing around the yard without killing myself. I did at first try the Bosch 2550, which handles slightly bigger branches, but at 30 kilos, which is around 65 pounds, I could barely manipulate it in the store, much less imagine dragging it across our sloping yard. At 250 euros, the AXT 2200, which handles branches of 40 millimeters, which is about 1.5 inches, and weighs 12 kilos, which is around 26 pounds, is perfect for me and for the bushes and shrubs and other garden raised around my home. And speaking of, after our spring cleaning, I have a ton of shredding to do, so let's get started. There are a few items inside the box that are not attached to the actual machine. We have this odd-shaped metal tube. We also have 2 wheels. There was the user manual that included these screws, 2 that are just plastic with no head, and 2 that are metal and have a Phillips head on them. Strangely enough, they seem to have included a hex wrench or an Allen wrench. It's pretty large and does not fit the screws, so I'm not sure if it fits something else. We'll keep this on standby. And we have this red plastic thing that's used to push the branches and other garden debris into the wood chipper to protect our hands. And by taking a look at the box, we see that the metal pieces are used to attach the wheels on the bottom. The user's manual does not give any instructions on how to do this, but just by eyeballing it, it looks fairly simple. I'm going to put the box away. There are 2 slots here, just round circles that are the same size as this. So I'm going to put the bar in the holes, slide them in. The bars do have screw holes on them, so you need to slide this in deep enough in order to screw it in place. Now I'm going to run the bar here. Slide on each of the wheels. And I'm using the 2 plastic screws to put the wheels in place. This is actually way harder to get in than I expected, or that it needs to be, in my opinion. So I'm just going to use a hammer to tap it gently into place. They're plastic and they fit almost like putting a cork back in a champagne bottle. The screw seems just a little bit too big for the hole that it's trying to go in. That should do it. I'm going to attach it to my extension cord and move out to the garden. As you'll see here, I pulled it across from my house, which is about 50 meters away, and it's a little bit of a rugged, rough terrain, but it moved without any problem. I have put the box that it came in underneath it. You'll see it there. It may look a little strange, but I'm using that to catch the wood clippings, the wood chips as they come out of the machine, so that I can use those later for mulch or possibly for my compost bed, depending on the size that they end up being. to take a minute to tell you a couple of the things that I've noticed. One, when you put a branch in that's pretty big, it really snatches it super fast. I don't know if you saw me jerk my hand back a couple of times, but it was almost like it scared me at first because it really snapped my finger, but it was actually just the branch that took off so fast that it actually whacked my finger. The other thing I'll show you are the clippings that I'm getting. The big pieces of wood are cutting into little fine wood chips, but the smaller sticks are passing through almost basically untouched, almost like maybe cut a little bit but not clipped into tiny pieces. One thing that I found is that number one, you need to hold the branch very tight as you're placing it into the machine so that when it snatches it from your hands, it doesn't actually snatch it, it feeds it steadily into the machine. The second thing I've discovered is that for things that are branching like this, it does not seem to like these at all. Although it can handle the individual size of the main stem, it seems like it has a difficult time kind of taking in all of the different branches off of it. I'm not really sure why it cut off. It seems like maybe it got a little over full, like maybe some of the pieces weren't coming out very well. Anyway, I'm going to unplug it and then turn it over and see if I can figure out what's stuck, if something's stuck in there. Doesn't look like much from here. Here there's a backup of mulch and the chopped bits that are stuck in there. They haven't shot out, and so I'm guessing that that's why it stopped. Well, it sounds like we're back in business now. It really was just a lot of mulch had almost like come through the blade, but had not shot out. Before I finish, I wanted to do a few sticks of plum tree and privet. So I've got some privet here and some plum tree, a little stack over there. Seems like it's much happier with a branch, a straight stick, even if it's thick, than if it's something that's a little complicated, like this stuff. Now that you've seen how the Bosch AXT Rapid 2200 works, I'd like to share with you my overall thoughts. Number one, for ease of assembly, I found it a little more complicated than it needed to be. The fact that they gave a hex wrench that did not fit anything that I've seen did not make sense and just added confusion. the fact that I had to hunt up a screwdriver and then later a hammer to tap in the plastic screw that didn't just pop into place as I expected, made it a little more complicated than it needed to be. Nothing major, but just a little more complicated than I've grown to expect with Bosch type of tools. Number two, for ease of transport, I took it from here all the way across my yard, which, like I said, is rugged terrain, is in a big slope, and it was super easy. It's lightweight. I'm able to lift it up and down, as you saw here, even though I'm not the strongest gal on the planet, and it was very easy to transport. Number three, for ease of use, kind of have mixed reviews for it. For straight branches, it was very easy, very efficient. You just feed them right in, no problem whatsoever. But for anything complex, it was a big no. So if you're going to put something in, you need to see that overall the width does not need to exceed that. But as you saw, I also had some things that were fine to feed in, but then they actually clogged up the machine and the machine stopped. So I don't really understand what happened with that. It seemed like what was mulching inside was not spitting out and it just kind of backed up. I don't really have a good explanation for that. I guess it's something I'll need to kind of watch out for in the future. Number four, as far as the mulching was concerned, I also give that a mixed review. Here's the overall mulch that I got. And you'll see here, there are some really beautiful wood chips in here, but there's also a lot of sticks. There's another batch, and you'll see it's mostly sticks more than the wood chips. And so that is really how the overall mulch came out. It was really kind of half and half, a mix of nice wood chips that you could use easily on your garden beds and a bunch of sticks that I don't really know what to do with except put in my compost bin and let them biodegrade. One thing that will help me is that next time maybe I'll just put in the branches individually, just really some straightforward branches, and create some nice wood chips that I can use, but definitely not kind of a mixed bag of garden debris like I had today. Did not seem to be ideal for creating a nice mulch that I could use in the garden. Would I buy it again? Well, at 250 euros, this is going to meet most of my needs in the garden. The next one up was around 400 euros. That was the one I told you was 30 kilos as opposed to this one, which is 12. And honestly, for the ease of transport, and the fact that the price is significantly more for the next one up, I think I'll stay with this one for now. I think this one will meet the needs that I have, and overall, I'm moderately satisfied with it. So I hope this unboxing and review of the Bosch AXT 2200 has been useful for you. If it has, would you please click like down below and let me know. And if you would like to follow me as I transform my garden here in southern France into the vegetable garden of my dreams, please feel free to click on the subscribe button here. Thank you. Bye.